everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is Wong and I do a playlist here on YouTube on my channel called the Law School Playlist, and basically I give you guys tips and tricks and answer some of your questions in previous videos on my experience and how I do certain things, tips and tricks on law school. So yeah, let's get right into it. So for today's video, I am answering a bunch of questions on how I organize my final study schedule for final exams. Final exams are coming up soon. Probably a lot of you have already started studying. Today is November 14th. Okay, so you guys are probably like doing your studying right now. So let's get right into it and I'll show you guys how I create my study schedule. So the first thing I do before I start studying is I create a schedule, and I usually do this 1 month in advance. 1 month before all my first exam, I will start studying. So for the purposes of this video, I am going to do a mock example of my fake exam dates and how I would structure my study schedule with that. So for my mock exam dates, I have chosen the dates of December 1st because I'm not in school right now. So for example, December 1st, December 6th, and December 15th are going to be 3 exams. So these are just fake ones, so I can easily explain how I do my study schedule for you guys. So the first step I do is I list out what exams I have. It could be 3, it could be 5, whatever, depending on your own schedule. And then I will list them in order of which one comes first. So the first one, depending on the date, would be December 1st, and that one's criminal law. December 6th, torts, and then December 15th, which would be con law in this mock example. So the first thing you do, you want to do that is you want to list it out on a piece of paper. Then what you want to do is gather all your syllabuses for every single one of your exams and arrange them in that order. So then what you will have is your first page of the first exam, and then you're looking at that syllabus, and what you want to do is look at what the first topic is. So for example, if you see on your syllabus it says actus reus is your first topic, then what I want you guys to do is on a separate piece of paper write number 1 and then put actus reus, whatever that is, and then do the same thing with all the other topics and put them in chronological order and numbers. And if something is extra important, put a little star beside it. So for example, if there's a topic that is, for example, like intent or something like that, if intent is a big topic, put a star beside it, and that will indicate that that certain topic will probably take you more than 1 day to memorize and learn and read and refresh. So for anything that you believe is more difficult for you to learn or has a lot of subtopics within that one topic, put a little star beside it. So you want to do this, you want to make a list, so then you have one list for criminal law. So it would look something like actus reus, intent, mens rea, blah 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 blah. Put them all in the correct order and then number them. Okay, then you want to do the same thing with your next syllabus. So the next syllabus with our kind of fake exam dates would be torts, which would be on December 6th in this fake problem. And what you want to do is you want to take the syllabus, and again, probably the first topics is like negligence. So what you want to do is put a little number 1 beside it on your blank sheet of paper, and then you go on to number 2, which is probably strict liability, and you put like a number 2, strict liability, number 3, intentional torts, and then make your list based on your syllabus. And do the same thing if you think intentional torts is a little more difficult for you to learn or something that you think you need more time on revising, put a little star beside it. Okay, moving on. Then you want to flip to your next page, and hopefully that's the set of papers which is your syllabus for your third exam, which in this fake scenario I said was con law. So what you want to do is, again, the syllabus, write a number depending on whatever the first topic is. So it would be like justiciability, so that would be number 1. Number 2 would be like government powers. Number 3, individual rights, whatever. Write it down. And usually the syllabus will probably, you would like assume like 15 topics max or 20 topics. So you want to make a list of that. Okay, so then after you do that, you want to put your syllabus of all those courses away, file them back in their original position. Then you want to take your little number listed paper, and what you want to do is for every number 1, you want to figure out or sorry, before I say that, the question you have to ask yourself is, how many days do you have until the exam? So for example, December 1st would be the first exam, and say you are in November and it is November 1st. So that means you have about 1 month to prepare. So what you want to do is you have to ask yourself the second question, which is how many topics are in each course. So say you have 20 topics in each course, which means you have 20 days to learn each topic per course. So that's how I usually do it, is I think of it as I learn one topic a day. So or sometimes two days. I give myself 2 days, so a little leeway. So this would be basically how I kind of structure. I give myself 1 day to learn a topic, which is very rushed, but if you've been doing your work throughout the semester, it's probably more of a refresher for you, and you just have to go in and start memorizing things, which is a little bit different. So that's what I do. I give myself 1 day per topic. But if you are kind of a slower learner, I would section it out, depending on how many days you have left, into 2 days or 1.5 day if you are in really rush for time. And then the third question you have to ask yourself is, not question, but the third thing you have to do is to do the math and divide up how many topics per day you will do. Okay, so after you kind of have this in your brain, what you want to do is you want to create a second list. So you take a fresh piece of paper, and for every number ones is when you want to write on your start date. So for example, here's a diagram that I created. So for example, what I was saying was, here are all the syllabuses. The first step is you get your syllabus, you look at it, then you want to reduce it into a number form. So the first topic in criminal law, second topic, third topic. Then the final step is to add the first date you want to start studying and put all the number ones, which becomes day 1 of studying, and put it underneath each one. And that's basically how I create my study schedule, my final study schedule. And usually if you start a month in advance, you will have at least 1 week of free time. If you follow the schedule to a T, you will usually have 1 week to do your final memorization. And before final memorization, when I'm actually studying, what I do is I reduce my already typed up notes into even more simplistic notes. So I create kind of like a cheat sheet, which is kind of more a streamlined version, to the point Word document on all the past lectures. And that's kind of hard for me to explain, but for example, if I had if it took us 3 weeks to learn the first topic, actus reus, for example, for criminal law, then what I want to do is streamline that from my class notes and reduce them into like subheadings, and try to make it as brief and as easy to the point as possible. And that's what I do the weeks coming up to the final exam. So what would happen is, in my brain, I would take all this big chunks of information and reduce it into small chunks of information by typing it out into notes. So that's how I personally study. And by the end of it, if you follow this to a T and do it consistently with all the topics, you will be able to have a really nice streamlined set of notes, and at the same time it'll help you keep on schedule, because sometimes you lose track of time. So the time you've allotted for that first topic would be the time it takes you to finish typing up and streamlining those final notes. The more streamlined version, not like the class notes, because that's different. Like the class notes and the lecture notes are very heavy and very dense, but your final exam notes should be a condensed version of your class notes. So that's what I do. And then usually by probably November 20th or November 25th, if I'm being slow, I will be done all my studying, and that will give me like a quick 1 day break, and then probably like 5 days or like a couple of days I would use for hardcore memorization, which is I try to write essays, or depending on what type of exam you have, multiple choice or essays, I would try to sort of be able to do that with either the aid of my streamlined notes, or if I really don't understand a topic, have also my class notes. But usually by the end of that, all your streamlined notes is what you want to memorize and what you want to visualize at the very end in order to execute your exam through memorization. But if you have open book exam, you can just bring all your notes in with you to study. And if you guys want to see how I do open book notes, exam notes, you can check out my older video on how I organized all those notes, and that's kind of like, you can kind of see more of a visual representation of how my exam notes look like. What else? Oh yeah, for multiple choice, a really good trick is to do flashcards. Some people don't really work well with flashcards, but I like them sometimes for just quick memorization. So it's like you learn how to forget about so what I mean by that is you quickly answer, try to memorize, answer the question, and then you move on to the next one, and then you move on to the next one. So you forget and you don't kind of focus on what the previous flashcard was. You kind of have to like drop that and then move forward and focus all your concentration on the next card. So that helps train your brain into doing multiple choice questions. I don't know, this is just like tips that I found helpful for memorizing facts and information for multiple choice questions. So that's basically how I create my study schedule for final exams and how I kind of sort of memorize stuff. If you guys want another video on how I memorize things last minute, you guys can leave me a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up so I know that you guys are like paying attention and actually listening, and I'll try to film something on like my memorization tips and how I do my weird sort of memorization. And for example, one of my memorization tips, I'll give you guys a little teaser. One of my memorization tips is to actually write definitions out, and then, not definitions, but I would write out full paragraphs of essays and then memorize it like a script. And what I mean by that is, I don't know, this may not work for a lot of people, but I am actually surprisingly pretty good at verbalizing and verbally memorizing paragraphs. So what I did was wrote down a sample paragraph, which would be the facts, the law, which if you guys know law school, you have to do the IRAC, so the issue, rule, and analysis. So instead for one topic, I memorized the rules of in a paragraph form, so in a written paragraph form. So I would be on autopilot when I went to write my exam, because I would just write that rule paragraph. I would identify the issue in the problem, and then I would be on autopilot and just write the rule. So for that particular exam, it was community property. I think I can still recite it, even though it's the exam has been like a couple months ago. So for example, it was for community property. So I memorized word per word the rule in sort of a monologue, an open monologue type of thing. Kind of, I don't know if you guys any of you guys did like drama for undergraduate, you guys would kill at this method. But if you guys are not me, I've never acted in my life, and I just kind of taught myself to verbalize it. So yeah, so let's see if I remember it. So it was like, California is a community property state. Everything purchased during the course of the marriage is considered community property. Everything purchased prior to the marriage or upon permanent separation is considered separate property. Every gift, bequest, or devise is also considered separate property. Upon separation of marriage or divorce, all property is equally divided, unless if there is a contract that states otherwise. Something like that. So like literally, word per word, I would sit there and read one line and go like this and try to say it again. And then I would look at the next line and I would go like this and I would say it again. And then I would look at it and the third line, look at it, say it out loud, look away, say it out loud, and then I would try to join them. So then I would say the first line and the second line without looking, and then the third line with looking, and then I would say the second and third line without looking and look down, and then, you know, continue on like that. So that's another trick. But if you guys want to see more tricks on memorization for visual learners, so people who have more of a photographic memory / visual type of memorization, then leave me comments down below, give me a thumbs up, and if I get at least like 100 thumbs up, then I'll share with you guys my tips and tricks on visual memorization of charts and paragraphs and definitions and rule of law. So yeah, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, whatever. Yeah.